Hello, welcome back to CinemaBurger, where I bring you movie reviews from a different perspective. The Oscars are over, and now let's move on to some other types of movies. One I've been waiting for a while, and so have a lot of other fans. Of course, it is Mortal Kombat, the 2021 movie. As you can see, I got my Scorpion Sub-Zero shirt. So, of course, Mortal Kombat's based on the popular video game franchise known for its graphic violence. Came out in the 90s. There were two movies from the 90s that were PG-13. They didn't do the video games justice, but the first movie in 95, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, did well, and it had a soundtrack that, of course, had the classic Techno Syndrome theme. The sequel came out in 97, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It did horrible. Now, over the years, there was also actually a cartoon series from the 90s, Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, which was also kind of bad. And the live-action series, Mortal Kombat Conquest. But then, around 2010-11, there were rumors of trying to get a new Mortal Kombat movie that was actually going to be rated R and show the graphic violence and the fatalities. Now, it got delayed and pushed back for a while. There was a YouTube series from Machinima called Mortal Kombat Legacy that was pretty good. They were like 9-minute episodes. It made 2 seasons. In 2019 or 2020, there was an animated movie, Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge, which was probably the best Mortal Kombat movie ever. And then, of course, in 2021, finally, we got the new Mortal Kombat movie. So let's start. Now, the movie follows a new character named Cole Young. He's an MMA fighter, and he's tired of like losing fights and whatever. So he gets asked by a character named Jax, who is watching the fights. Jax is played by Makad Brooks from Supergirl, and he asks about this tattoo that Cole Young has on his chest, which is, of course, a Mortal Kombat symbol. Now, this movie does a little differently. They don't do the classic storylines or the origins of the characters, which a lot of fans were upset about. Oh yeah, so the movie starts in 1600s China. You see the classic yellow gis and outfits of the Shirai Ryu, the clan that Hanzo Asashi, aka Scorpion, is part of. He's getting water for his family or something, and then all of a sudden you see a blue outfit character. Of course, it's Bai Han from the rival tribe, the Lin Kuei. Now he starts killing people and trying to attack his family. Now, Hanzo Asashi is played by Haruyuki Sanada, and Bai Han is played by Joe Talsum. Now, I think the effects budget was all spent on the Sub-Zero ice effects, because they look amazing. It's the best part of the effects in this movie, because the effects aren't the best in this. And the fights are great. They're bloody. You see Hanzo Asashi fight off a bunch of Lin Kuei assassins. And of course, after that, Bai Han and Hanzo Asashi, aka Scorpion Sub-Zero, fight, and it's great. Bai Han kills Hanzo Asashi, and then Hanzo gets the symbol on his arm and then gets sent to hell. And that's when we cut to Cole Young. So it's interesting they didn't choose to have Johnny Cage immediately. They wanted to have an actor of Asian descent. They have Louis Tan, I believe. Now, he's the character that the audience is supposed to follow and like relate to, and also be introduced into this mystical world and stuff. But the problem is Cole Young is really boring and generic. And there's another character who kind of makes fun of the universe and like is also being introduced to this world, and he's already an existing character, and that of course is Kano. Now, Kano is played by Josh Lawson from House of Lies with John Cheadle. Now, he does a great Australian accent, because I think he is Australian or British. Now, he plays this character perfectly. He's funny. He, like, makes fun of everything that's going on. He makes references to, like, Harry Potter and Magic Mike. He's probably the best character in this movie, and no one was expecting that, I feel. Throughout the movies, we get introduced to other characters like Kung Lao, Raiden, Shang Tsung, Sonya Blade, Cabal. They choose certain characters. There's plenty of characters from all the games. Now, Shang Tsung is actually starting to try to kill the Earthrealm characters before Mortal Kombat starts. So it's kind of like a prequel story to Mortal Kombat. There's no actual tournament in this movie. Shang Tsung is trying to use shady tactics and using Sub-Zero as an assassin to stop the Earthrealm defenders before they can be a team. Shang Tsung also has Katana, Goro, Kira or something. Now, I like the guy who's playing Raiden. He was in Thor movies. He was part of the Warriors 3 along with Sif and the other ones. Now, instead of the characters getting their powers and stuff from original video game stories, if you fight a champion who is chosen for Mortal Kombat, you get this tattoo, and if you kill someone else who had the tattoo, you then get the tattoo, and you have to find something called your Arcana, which you basically get a random power. So it's not like Jax gets his arms because of the military. He gets it because he lost his arms from Sub-Zero, because he fights Sub-Zero and he rips his arms off, which is amazing looking. Now, there's a couple of good fatalities in this movie. Kano rips out a beating heart. Jax, like, slams someone's head. And Kung Lao uses his blade hat and stuff. So basically, Kano knows where this temple is in the desert that where Raiden is, so they can all train and whatever and be prepared for Mortal Kombat. Now we meet Liu Kang, of course. He's played by Ludi Lin, who was in the Power Rangers movie from 2017. Now they just make him devoid of all personality and stuff. Unfortunately, they should have made the movie about Liu Kang instead of trying to introduce this Cole Young character, because he is so useless, and his purpose of the movie is negated by an existing character. Like I said, Kano does his job for him in terms of being introduced to this world. Now they train for a bit and they try to find their Arcana and things like that. Now some of the fights are okay. Unfortunately, the best stuff is with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and there's very little of that in the movie. I think this movie was better than the ones from the 90s. Maybe not the first one, but the second one definitely. Now, the movie does set up a sequel at the end. If this movie does well, which it has been in theaters and on HBO Max, because this is a Warner Brothers movie, they'll make like 4 sequels. Oh yeah, so Cole Young's like Arcana is like he gets this golden armor on him and he can like make weapons. It's kind of like random and weird. And throughout the movie, Cole Young has like visions of Scorpion in hell, and it turns out he's a descendant of Hanzo Hasashi, so that's why his character is relevant. Because at the end of the movie, Sub-Zero kidnaps his family, and the same way he almost killed Hanzo Hasashi's family, so Raiden gave Cole Young Hanzo's blade. So by the end of the movie, he gets summoned, and Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight in like an iced up MMA like studio. Now, this is the best part of the movie, where Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight. Of course, Scorpion says his classic line, "Get over here." Now, throughout the movie, there's, of course, references to other characters and events from the games. In the temple, you see Shao Kahn, you see the original Kung Lao defeating Shao Kahn, you see Nightwolf, They make a reference to people discovering Mortal Kombat, and it's like, hey, look, it's not spelled right because it's spelled with a K. And when Sub-Zero and Jax are fighting in like this underground parking garage, you see the button code to do Sub-Zero's like ice move or something. So there are references throughout the movie. Now, unfortunately, besides the Get Over Here reference, every other line, like fatality and flawless victory, just feel very forced, and it takes you out of the movie. Now, it's interesting, this movie had a budget of only $50 million. The effects were somewhat cheaper, except for the Sub-Zero ice effects. And they used mostly TV actors, so it was smart on their part. In case the movie bombed, they don't have like a $200 million loss. The movie already, the opening weekend it came out, I think already made like $15-20 million, so it'll definitely make its money back, I think. And, oh yeah, the actress playing Sonya Blade was alright, but no one has really been good playing Sonya Blade in any of the live-action movies. Kung Lao was okay. And it's weird, like, Cabal has, like, this weird, like, Brooklyn, Jersey accent or something. So, at one point, Goro is sent to attack Cole Young's family in the woods. It looks like they live in this house that's from, like, Evil Dead. And the scene reminded me of the 2003 Ang Lee Hulk, when Hulk is fighting, like, the CG dogs. But that the scene in Mortal Kombat was better. Oh yeah, at the very end, since some of that characters died, Raiden sends the champions to, like, Cole Young and Sonya and Jax to go find new champions, and of course, Cole Young is at his MMA place, and he tells his boss, oh, I'm not going to fight anymore, I've got something else to do, and then you see a poster of Johnny Cage from one of his movies, teasing that Johnny Cage will be in the sequel. So, instead of Jax getting new arms from, like, the military, his arms are ripped off and frozen by Sub-Zero. And then all of a sudden, when Kano, Sonya, Cole Young, and everyone else get to the temple, he's already there, and they're, like, trying to fix his arms, and then in the next scene you see there's, like, metal arms on him. So, Jax's Arcana is, like, his actual metal arm, so it's kind of stupid. So yeah, there's some stuff to like in this movie, but there's also stuff to hate. Everyone, I think, including me, had low expectations for this movie, so if I had to rate this movie, which I will, of course, I give it a... Now, I've seen this twice, by the way, so really gave me a chance to think about it. I'd probably give it a 2.5 out of 5 burgers, because even though the main character is boring and useless, Kano's constant jokes and stuff take you throughout the movie, even during the non-action scenes. The movie is also under 2 hours, which is nice. All these action movies don't need to be 2.5 hours. And the opening and final scenes between Scorpion and Sub-Zero are the best. But yeah, there's fans of the video game may not like that they changed the origins of most of the characters. There's more actors of Asian descent, even though in the original games most of the characters weren't Asian. Like Raiden technically wasn't Asian, but whatever. And the effects on Raiden's lightning powers are hit or miss. But yeah, if you're a fan of the games and stuff, and the older movies, I guess check it out. Like, it's on HBO Max for a month, and it's in theaters. But you'll enjoy things. Definitely Josh Lawson is Kano, and the actors playing Scorpion and Sub-Zero, the fights with them. So, while Mortal Kombat was not a flawless victory, there are a few good fatalities in this movie. Alright, I'm Scott Berger, and I'll see you next time.